Dear students, Namaste, and I would like to welcome you to the next class of compulsory English. Today we are going to deal with Unit 14, but can you guess what are we going to deal in Unit 14? Very good. We are going to deal with the writing exercises. You do have two writing exercises in your textbook, writing 1 and writing 2, and today we will deal both of them, okay? Alright, that's good. So, please turn a book to writing 1. First we will do writing 1, okay? So, in writing 1, look at exercise A. There is a mind map given to you, okay? I am going to show you the same mind map, alright? Okay, dear students, see there, this mind map is about Rara Lake. Okay, you might have heard about this lake, okay? You might have read in your textbooks also. So, it is about Rara Lake. So, there are informations given about Rara Lake. Here you can see different informations about Rara Lake. See there, its location Mugu district. So, this is the information about Rara Lake. Let us look at the next. Attracts many tourists. If we look at this one, it is the biggest freshwater lake. Similarly, next one is its height 2990 meter. It's similarly you can see its area 9.8 square kilometer. Similarly, you can see next information surrounded by the smallest national park Rara. Next information you can see maximum depth 167 meter. Similar next information you can see surrounded by beautiful mountains and green forests. So, dear students, this type of chart is called mind map, okay? You can see here. So, when you write any paragraph, when you write any essays, if you develop such mind map first or idea map first, then it helps you in writing the paragraph or writing the essay beautifully, okay? So, see there, how we do this then? How do we write idea map then? So, see there, first we think about the topic or title. So, see there, what's the title or what's the content of this writing today? Rara Lake. Then next thing what we do that, whatever information comes in our mind about that topic, we write around it. You see there, for example, this all information, you can see these pieces of information there, they are all about Rara Lake, and you see they are not in order also, they are not organized in proper order, okay. So, whatever information come there, it is mentioned there, okay. So, in your book also you do have such information, and I have added one to information there, some are additional information also you can see. So, see there, these all things if we now develop in a paragraph, it will be easy for us. Sometimes what happens, without such idea map, if we start writing a paragraph, we forget the ideas, we forget some important ideas. So, first we need to design such idea map or write such idea map, and after this we need to develop paragraphs or essays using these information. We need to organize them, okay, properly and develop the paragraphs or essays while writing. Did you get the idea? Okay. So, this is what? Idea map. Okay. Now, please look at exercise B in your textbook. What does it say? It says using the idea map. That means the idea map we discussed in exercise A. Write a short description of Rara Lake. Okay. So, using this idea map, you need to write a paragraph. All right. Okay, dear students, now we are going to write a paragraph using the idea map given in your book. This idea map that's given in a book, we'll use this idea map and write a paragraph. Okay. So, please look at the board how we develop a paragraph using the idea map. So, first what do we write? Can you say what do we write first? Okay, we write the title. For example, we write the title. What's our title? Rara Lake. Okay, we write the title Rara Lake. Okay. So, after this we write or we use the information there and develop those information into sentences. For example, we can start with this is Rara Lake is the biggest freshwater lake in Nepal. See this sentence. There was the information that it is a biggest freshwater lake. Now we use this information, biggest freshwater lake. So, Rara Lake is the biggest freshwater lake in Nepal. We made a new sentence here using the information biggest freshwater lake. Now, there is a location Mugu district is given there. So, we can write it lies in Mugu district. Okay. This was the next information given there. Similarly, the next information, if you look at there, it says surrounded by the smallest national park, Rara National Park. So, simply we can say this lake is surrounded by the smallest national park. What's the name given there? What's the name? Yes, the name of the national park is also Rara, we can say. Okay. So, there is information surrounded by the smallest national park Rara, and we develop that into a sentence. Okay. We develop that into a sentence. Similarly, you can see the height is given there. So, height is given. What's the height given there? Yes, 2990 meters. That's the height given there in the idea map. Now, we can develop that idea into a sentence again. For example, the lake is situated at the height of, what's the height given there? Yes, 2990 meters. It's given there, we can use that. Similarly, you can see the next information, it's about the area. What's the area given there? Can you say? Yes, it's 9.8 square kilometers area is given. So, simply we can add the area of the lake is 9.8 square kilometers. Okay. The same information can be developed into a sentence in this way. Similarly, it talks about the depth. What's the depth given there? 167 meters at maximum. For that also we can develop some sentences. For example, we can say the lake is very deep. The lake is very deep. Its maximum depth is what's the maximum depth given there? What's the maximum depth given there? Okay, 167 meters. We can say 167 meters. We can write this way. Similarly, there is the information surrounded by beautiful mountains and green forest. So, we can simply write it is, or the lake is surrounded by, it is surrounded by, or lake is surrounded by, it is surrounded by what? What is given there? Beautiful mountains. Yes, beautiful mountains, and what next? Yes, and green forests. Okay. So, we developed into a sentence, that information is developed into a sentence. Similarly, it attracts many tourists every year. Similarly, there is information changes its color many times a day. So, simply we can add some extra information also. It is not necessary that we must be limited within the idea map. Okay? We can add extra information also. For example, we can say Rara Lake changes, or it changes its color many times a day. So, it attracts many tourists is given there. So, we can say, so it attracts many tourists every year. Okay. So, see there, in this way, using the idea map that is given in your textbook, we wrote a paragraph here, or those ideas are developed into a paragraph. So, in this way, we can include all the information. So, there is a chance that if you do not develop idea map, there is a chance that you miss important information. But you see, when we do have idea map, we can easily develop the paragraphs. In the same way, we can write essays. So, you see, I hope you realize that when I was writing this paragraph, I was taking the help of the idea map. I was developing each information into a sentence so that I could write a paragraph. Did you realize that? So, dear students, you also try doing this. Okay? Can you do this? Okay, that is very good. Now, in the same way, you need to do another task. I have a task for you. Okay? I will show you the task, and you will develop a similar paragraph as I did here in the class. You will develop a similar paragraph using the idea map. Okay? Are you ready to do that? All right. Okay, I will show you the task. Okay, dear students, as I said earlier, please look at this task. It says, study the idea map carefully and write a paragraph using it. So, earlier we practiced the idea map and a paragraph about Rara Lake. Now, this time there is Mount Everest, and in the same way there are information. Okay? There are information, or there are ideas about Mount Everest given there. Please note down with the help of the slide or with the help of your screen the information. For example, location is located in Solukhumbu district. Similarly, you see there highest mountain in the world. This is next information. Its height 8,848.86 meter. Okay. Similarly, it attracts many tourists. Next, many people climb Mount Everest every year, can reach there with a flight and then a walk or hike, you can say HIKE, hike also. Similarly, it lies in the Sagarmatha National Park. So, such information are given here. You can add other information on your own, or you can design or develop similar idea map. And using this idea map, using similar idea map, you can develop these ideas into a paragraph as we did earlier about Rara Lake. Do you understand? Okay, dear students, I hope you got the idea about using a mind map or idea map to write a paragraph. Now, using these information, you write a paragraph of your own, and then you will show your English teacher. Okay? Can you do that? Excellent. Very good. Dear students, do you know what we did? Okay, first we studied the idea map given in your textbook in exercise A under writing 1. Then using that idea map, we developed a paragraph, okay, about Rara Lake. Similarly, the next thing is I gave you a task. I asked you to write a paragraph about Mount Everest using the idea map. Okay. So, now can you guess what we are going to do next? Exactly, we are going to deal with the exercises under writing 2. So, please turn a book to writing 2. So, dear students, see there what exercise is given to you under writing 2. See there, read the reading 2 once again means you read the prospectus of Saraswati Secondary School, Ilam again. Okay? That means you go through it and design a similar prospectus for your school with the help of the given outline. You are given the outlines here. You can also take the help from your teacher. So, I am here to help you, and you can also use a photo if possible. If you do have the photo of your school, you can use it. Okay? So, let us see first what things are given here. So, first introduction, here you need to mention the name, when it was established, such things. Then vision, for example, what is the vision? To develop school as a center of excellence. Then mission, what is the mission? To provide quality education to all inclusive school. Similar, next thing you will deal with major programs, then you will talk about main features, for example, science lab, library, canteen, classroom equipment, etc. Then next is admission process, you will talk about that, fee structure and scholarships, such things you will talk while writing a prospectus of your own school. So, to help you, I am going to tell you what things do you need to include in each of these sections. We will look at them in detail, okay, so that you can write a better prospectus. Are you ready to do that? Very good. So, dear students, first look at the introduction section. Generally, we start writing a prospectus with the introduction of the school or organization, or in some prospectus you can see that word background also. Okay. So, while writing introduction, what things do you need to include then? Okay. For example, name of the school, then what do you write here? You will write the name of your own school. For example, Panchakanya Secondary School, for example, Ganesh Secondary School, for example, Nepal Rashtriya Secondary School. So, you write the name of your school. Similarly, then you can talk about location, okay, where it is situated, that means the address. Okay. For example, Nagarjun Municipality, Ward number 7, this means Nagarjun 7, Sivchatar, Kathmandu, the name, okay, the name of that Ward number 7 is Sivchatar, Kathmandu you can write, or any other, for example, Kathmandu Metropolitan City or Kathmandu Metropolitan City 13 Kalimati, Kathmandu can be, or it can be Nilkantha Municipality, Ward number 7, Dhading it can be. So, wherever your school is located, you will be writing that. Similarly, next is when it was established, means when did your school start, that thing you will write. The year especially, you will write the year. For example, it can be 2020 BS, or for example, it can be 2043 BS, or 2018 BS, 2007 BS, or 2060 BS. So, what is the year when your school was started? You write that year. Similarly, you can talk about the classes run there. Okay. For example, in there maybe the classes from playgroup to grade 10, or nursery to grade 12, or sometimes it can be only up to grade 3 only, some schools, but here you are in grade 7. So, your school certainly has grade up to grade 8, okay, or up to grade 10 only. Even some schools you might have seen might have only up to grade 3 or grade 5, You might have seen such schools also. So, those schools write up to grade 3, up to grade 8 or like that. Okay. So, such things you need to write under introduction. Later I will show you how it is written. Okay. Similarly, next part is vision. So, to write vision you need to know what vision is first. Okay. So, when we say vision, it means a long term goal. That does not mean that you achieve that the next year, you achieve that the next month, it is not. It may take 5 or 10 years to achieve that. That means what your school wants to be in future, not now, okay, in future, after some years, what your school wants to be, that you need to mention here. And why it should be done then? Why should we write a vision, or why should our schools need to have a vision then? Okay. If we have a vision, then it gives directions for where the school is going, which way we are leading our school to, where our school is going towards. So, this is a guiding thing. Okay. It guides our school. So, while writing vision, we can use such sentences like, our motto is to develop, means our main aim, that means we have already discussed what motto is in our previous class. So, its motto, main aim is to develop our school as a center for academic excellence, means academic means we have already discussed related to education, excellence, very good place, okay, very good one, better one. Okay. So, such thing, or next can be, our vision is to prepare our students for a rapidly changing world. So, you know, the world is changing, new things are coming in the world, new scientific inventions are there, technologies are there. So, the school may have an aim to prepare the students for that change. Okay. Such things, such sentences can be written. Okay. We can write these types of sentences. These are just the examples. Okay. Next thing, mission. You see, when we write vision, vision is supported by mission. That means vision is a single sentence. Mission, sometimes it is the elaboration of vision, it is the detailed form of vision. How can we reach to that vision? What are the ways? What things we need to do to reach to that vision? Such things are mentioned in under mission. So, they are goals, we can say mission is goals. So, mainly mission describes the school's purpose. What is the purpose of establishing this school? What is the purpose of studying in this school, for example? So, I already told you mission statements support the vision statement. Similarly, when we say mission is the summary of the goals of schools are mentioned here. So, some examples are given there, you can see, to create an excellent academic environment. So, we have said we will reach to excellence. If we said for that we need excellent academic environment. Similarly, if we say we will provide quality education to all, then we need inclusive environment. So, to create an inclusive environment for all students. Similarly, to provide quality education to all, such things can be the mission. Now, next thing, major programs of a school. So, when we talk about major programs, generally what our schools do have? Pre-primary classes, maybe in some schools you do have playgroup, nursery, LKG, UKG, like that, or in some schools only nursery, or in some schools only playgroups, or in some schools you do have early childhood development classes. Okay. Similarly, you will also talk about basic level classes, means grade, we have already discussed grade 1 to 8, secondary level classes you might have got 9, 10, or you might have got up to 11, 12, grade 12 also. Similarly, some of your schools might have got technical education. Okay. For example, there may be classes run for agriculture, engineering, okay. There may be. So, you need to mention those things also. Next comes the main features. Okay. So, you need to talk about your teachers. What kind of teachers are there in your school? Are they qualified? Are they well trained? Such things. Similarly, your school might have got a science lab, you need to talk about that. It might have got a library, you need to talk about that, canteen. Similarly, your school might run extracurricular activities. For example, on Fridays you might have quiz contest, spelling, games, for example, sports, races, athletics, such things you need to mention. Similarly, you need to talk about classroom equipment also. For example, there may be a smart board in your classroom, projector in your classroom, you need to talk about these things. Okay? Similarly, next is admission process. That means how a new student can study in your school, you need to mention that. For example, entry classes, can a student study in any classes, can get admission in any classes, 1, 2, 3, 4, any classes, or are there specific classes, for example, in grade 1 only, or grade 4 only, or 5 only, or 6 only, or 8 only, such things you need to mention. Similarly, time of the year, when does the school admit new students? Is it in the month of Baishak? Is it in the month of Jet? Or is it throughout the whole year? You need to mention that. Similarly, required documents to get admission, what documents should a student bring? For example, it can be birth certificate, it can be mark sheet or grade sheet of earlier grade. Similarly, you need to also talk whether there is entrance examination or not. Okay. In some schools there is a provision that they take entrance exam. If a student passes, then gets admission, if fails, does not get admission. So, you need to mention these things also. Similarly, you need to talk about fee structure also. Admission fee, is there any or is it free? You need to mention. Similarly, monthly fee, is it there any or it is free? Bus fare, maybe if there is a bus, your school may charge bus fare. What is the bus fare? You can mention, for example, there is 350 rupees, 350 per month, or it can be free also. What is the provision? You need to mention all these things. Similarly, you can also talk about scholarship. What kind of scholarships are available? To whom? Who can get those scholarships? For example, in your school there may be the provision of Dalit scholarship for the students who belong to Dalit communities, martyrs children scholarship, similarly disabled scholarship, girls scholarship, remote area scholarship, poor family scholarship. So, such things you need to mention, and then you will write a prospectus. Okay? So, considering all those things as we discussed earlier. So, you have a task here given in your textbook. We have already gone through this task. Now, using the outlines here in this task, we will try to write a prospectus. Okay? So, I do have a sample for you. Let us see that, and then you will try writing one for your school. Okay? So, let us see the prospectus I have written for you as a sample. Okay? So, let us see. First, as discussed earlier, first you need to write the name of your school on the top. Okay? Name. For example, here Sri Panchakanya Secondary School. Here you will write the name of your school. Then again you will write the address of your school, where it is located. Okay? Here Nagarjuna 7, Kathmandu, for example. And then you will write this as a title, as a heading, prospectus you need to write. And if there is a picture of your school, you will write, or you will put it here. You will put the picture of your school here, just under prospectus. Can you do this? Okay. Dear students, as we already discussed, you will start with introduction section. Okay? So, in introduction section you write name, address, when it was established, what classes are run, as in this example. For example, here we have written Sri Panchakanya Secondary School is a community school. So, if your school can be an institutional school also. If it is an institutional school, you write is an institutional school. Okay? If it is a community school, you can write a community school. Okay? Similarly, address, it is located in Nagarjuna municipality, ward number 7, Kathmandu. This is the address where the school is located. Now, you will write the address of your own school here. Similarly, this school was established in 2020 BS. Now, find when was your school established and write the year here. This school has been running classes from nursery to grade 10. Now, you can write what classes are run in your school. It can be up to grade 12, okay? You need to mention there, or grade 10 only or grade 8 only, you mention that. Similarly, next important part is vision. After introduction, you write vision, okay? So, for example, it is given there in a clues there in the book. So, we have written the same. Our vision is to develop school as a center of excellence. You can say our vision is to develop our school as a center of excellence. It is given in the outline there in the question. Similarly, mission, you can write to create an inclusive environment for all students. One, another to provide quality education to all. Okay. So, this is the elaboration of vision. Okay. In this way, you can mention it. Similarly, next thing, major programs. We have already discussed what things can be written. So, you can list them in this way. You can make a list of the programs. For example, the one Montessori based nursery class, basic level classes grade 1 to 8, secondary level classes 9 to 10. You can make a list here. Okay. It is not necessary that you need to explain them, and you can just make a list. Similarly, main features, or you can say salient features also, okay, as in reading 2. So, it means what are the important things, what are the important facilities the school provides. So, for example, well equipped science lab for practical classes. There is science lab given in the outline. So, you can mention that. Similarly, a library with many books, magazines and newspapers. So, next is well managed canteen with healthy food. Next, audio video classes, well equipped classrooms with smart boards, book corners, good furniture, such things. Okay. What equipments are there in your classroom, you can mention that. So, these come under main features. You can just make a list of them, okay, 1, 2, 3. In this way, you can make a list of the main features that your school has. Then you can talk about admission process. See there, any student fulfilling the basic criteria set by the school can apply for admission to grades 1, 6 and 9. Okay. It can be different grades in your school, it can be any grades. Okay. For example, it can be 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay. Similarly, what documents? The certificate of earlier grades and birth certificate are necessary. So, in it is better to mention such things also. Similarly, provision of entrance exam. The students do not need to sit in the entrance examination to get admission. In this school, there is no provision of entrance examination. If there is the provision of entrance examination in your school, you need to write the students need to sit in the entrance examination to get admission. You can write that. Okay. Similarly, next is fee structure. Students studying in this school do not need to pay any fee to the school. Every facility given to the students is free. So, this school has this provision, but your school might have some fee structures. Then if it is, you can make a table there and mention, for example, admission fee this much, monthly fee this much, similarly bus fare this much, like that you can mention there. Okay. Next is scholarship. Your school may offer different types of scholarships. So, for example, this school offers various types of scholarships to students like Dalit scholarship, Girls scholarship, Martyrs Children scholarship, etc. So, what scholarships are given in your school? You mention that. Okay. Similarly, finally, you can write the contact. Okay. You can mention email and you can also mention phone also. Email and phone you can mention, because these are quite important things. Similarly, some of your schools might have website. Okay. If your school has a website, you can mention here website also, okay. Or your school might have multiple phone numbers, you can mention all those phone numbers. You can mention website. These days there is the provision of Facebook also. You can mention if there is Facebook page of your school, you can write the Facebook page there. So, such things you can mention there. Dear students, today in our class, we learn to use the idea map to write a paragraph. Similarly, we also discussed the different parts of a prospectus, and using the outlines, we learn to write a prospectus for a school. Dear students, I hope you will also write a prospectus for your school and submit to your English teacher and get feedback. I hope this class has become helpful for you in your learning. So, thank you for your patience and active participation. It's the time to take a leave. Namaste, goodbye.